and welcome to Buzz Banter. I'm Das Hat.
I'm Maya.
I'm Ringling.
And Sam is unfortunately away. He's covering San Diego Comic-Con because he's a lucky little jerk. Didn't take me with him.
And you'll see his articles online too, right? I think he's going to be doing articles with that.
Yes, he will hopefully be doing a couple of articles. If he's not, hopefully Goma reminds him because he went with him. Didn't tell me he was stowing away in the luggage. I would have gone with him.
It's like
Bloody Goma.
you just see like Das Hat in this like suitcase, and then it's like
I would unfold from it. It would be like the little Chinese guy from Ocean's 11.
So you'd be so
yeah, but we're going to Fan Expo.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's coming. But what our panel discussion today is about is actually more stuff that's coming. Namely TV shows that are returning that we didn't think would return.
Sailor Moon.
Code Geass.
Exactly. No one thought Code Geass was going to come back considering how they ended it.
People thought it was an April Fool's Day joke when they, I think it was Sunrise, mass PM'd everybody. Look at this new image of the Zero. And we're like, hey, April Fool's Day.
Exactly.
Turns out it's like, nope, it's real.
That's the best way to put it out.
There's a full trailer for the next Code
Geass.
So basically this Code Geass, about 7 years after the events of, the last Zero killing himself, you have...
Spoilers!
Please, if you're interested in Code Geass, and if you're actually still watching, it probably means that you've seen Code Geass already. Otherwise, you have no idea what we're talking about, and you would have already left the video.
True. Well, I'm looking forward to see the new leads because, as you know, Maya Sakamoto, she plays Eris in Final Fantasy VII, and then her husband, like in real life, also played Zack in. Technically Final Fantasy VII, the movie, and Kingdom Hearts, but you know, yeah, they're the leads this time. He plays the voice actor for Zack. He plays Akito, and apparently he's exiled. He's been exiled from Area 11, aka Japan, since they're all like colonies of Britannia, which is technically Europe and America, because it is an alternate timeline if America never really split from Europe.
Yeah.
So
I love how the entire European continent is essentially the Middle East. It's just this war-torn like wasteland.
Yeah.
But
they come out with the best engineers. Like look at Lakshata and pilots Villetta. Yeah, they're getting there.
Which is kind of weird.
Also
considering
blonde like Beyonce. The Middle East has made of blonde people.
Some of them died and they're blonde.
Yeah, exactly.
And they look like normal, so...
There's actually a couple of trailers up. You can take a look at them on YouTube, and I think we'll be posting a couple of links below for you guys to check them out.
They're also subbed already, so it's been out.
Yeah, the fan subbers have already gotten their hands on them. Yeah. And it's looking really good. The production value is just as high as it always was, if not a little bit higher. Everything looks very smooth. Like, usually when you have action of this level, it sometimes goes like a little choppy at moments, or things just look like...
They're working on it. It's in production.
They don't have the transitions properly.
They're all...
properly yet. But it's looking really good.
Same character designers as before, the people who made the Card Captors character designs, Clamp. Yeah. So since they're older, right, and they've always had trouble drawing older characters. You know, the Card Captor characters were fine because they're all little kids, but now they're all like noodly people. It's like everybody got stretched out. So everybody still looks like noodles. Big bowl of noodles.
Yeah, they do look a little young and everything, but hey, I'm a fan of the Gundam series, so I'm used to a 13-year-old in a giant mech.
And onwards to Sailor Moon.
This no one saw coming.
It's been, what was it, 20 years since we last had the final season of Sailor Moon, and
it's not like 20 years.
20 years since it started.
Since it started. From the comics, but like the author, being the astrophysicist that she is, has taken time from her busy schedule of being a professor. Man, Naoko Takeuchi, she's good. She's written a couple more chapters, so we're wondering if it's gonna be those chapters animated, or is it gonna as a new season, or is it gonna be a HD remake?
I really hope it's an HD remake. If they reboot the series, first of all, I think it'll be the first anime series to ever get a reboot like a Hollywood movie franchise. But I mostly want to see the reboot because, well, it was one of the first animes I watched when I was younger.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it then, but when I read the manga and I saw how vastly different it was, and how
it's shorter. It's like a couple volumes long. It's not 500 episodes worth of comics.
Yeah, there was a
like
magnificent amount of filler.
Of what you watched, yeah.
But that being said, there was a lot of there were a lot of thematic elements and everything within the realm of the manga and the original plotting and
was
dialogue.
censored in the English version. So bad.
Exactly, and I would like to see them come out with actually similar to what they did with Brotherhood, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
People are hoping that it doesn't turn out to be like Dragon Ball Kai, where it's just all the old episodes, but just like with a bit of cleaner animation, but as in an actual
and no filler
story.
episodes, yeah.
Because the comics were a lot shorter. Like even when we watched it as on YTV, right? In the English versions, there were still some filler in it because they created a lot more character development. I mean, it's never really said outright that, like, let's say things like Sailor Mercury wanting to be a doctor in the comics, right? But you know that in the TV series. Yeah.
Right.
She's a tribute to Hermes, the messenger god. You never really know. You know that she has all these computer things, but you never really know, like, what she's doing with them. So, but they made her, like, the ultimate hacker in the TV series, right? Yeah.
Well, it was wonderful. The first time you ran into her in the TV series, she was literally just on the computer all the time.
Yeah, and that's how they find out she was a scout as well.
Yeah.
Because like the computer kind of like pushed her hair back, and then like you see.
Yeah, you
like,
saw the
sign.
crescent moon on her forehead.
Oh,
And everything.
it's the sign for Mercury.
Yeah.
For astronomy. She apparently the author of Sailor Moon. She fell asleep a lot in her astronomy class. Not astrology, astronomy. Yeah. So she would wake up. She's like, oh God, I draw what I just dreamt. Yeah, I read Sailor Venus first. And then she's later on, she just sleeps in class some more. She's like, man, I have all these great ideas when I sleep in class. I had a lot of like little girls I've watched here have been like, man, you could be lazy and become a professor. No, she worked really hard.
Yeah.
Because in the final season, when Sailor Moon finally gets into like high school, she's like, I gotta get into university. I mean, was it Tuxedo Mask? He's already in like grad school. He got accepted into like not life science. He got accepted into med school. Gotta work on this. Oh man. Yeah, the age difference. I don't know. Like as a kid, we didn't really care about it. Now that we're older, we're watching.
It's
like,
a little weird. Yeah. Also the fact that like her sister is her daughter.
Yeah.
Or something weird like that.
Yeah, her daughter is a time-traveling Sailor Scout.
Yeah.
Which was very strange because you see her as her sister and she's hitting on Darien, who's her father.
In truth, she just misses her dad and her mom. She can't. She gets to explain this a bit more in the TV series as well as in the comics, which is true to both, thankfully. Is that as a time traveler, when she was like growing up with her mom, right? She was like, my mom is like the perfect woman. I can't believe that she was such a slacker when she was younger. I mean, like my mom in the 30s is so elegant and polite, but like look at this, and you see like her pointing to Serena to like telling like Darien or whatever. She's like, look at this slob, this failure.
But that's not what we got in the English version.
No.
She never came out and said I'm a time traveler. Like you
do. Like, you're not the time traveler. If you get it in the English version, she's like, I can't accept that my mom was ever imperfect.
I don't remember this. It's I said, it's been a really long time since I've seen this series. I just remember snippets mostly.
Yeah.
Like.
All I remember was them yo-yoing the whole Serena and Darien finally getting together because, oh, she finally admitted it. Oh, great, he lost all of his memories. Yeah. Oh, look, he's back and he remembers everything. Okay, there's Mini-Moon there and there's some stress. And you forgot again.
Yeah, Mini-Moon's not allowed to tell, like, who's going to end up with who because she's like, she doesn't want to stop herself from getting born.
Yeah.
Though, technically, the fact that she still exists there shows that no matter what she does, she will not cease to exist because the only way to end the grandfather paradox is to actually state that once you've left your time flow, whatever decisions you make are no longer causally connected to you, so they won't affect you. So you can actually kill your grandfather and stop yourself from being born and still exist.
Yeah. But she's like, apparently she has to be sent back in time for her own protection, because in the future there's constant turmoil where people want to kidnap her because she's the heir to the throne, because Darien is whatever it is he is. He's the embodiment of Earth. If you kill him, the planet starts dying off.
Yeah.
So like,
which is why he's always got those roses.
Yeah, I guess. Picks up rose. Instant life.
Pretty much. I never saw one of those things wilting until and unless he was near death.
Yeah, he's the each of the characters are the embodiment of the planets themselves. They're like, there's no more inhabitants in the planets they're from, but that's because they've all gone to Earth to protect it. And then like, what was it? Even the cats have their own planets in the comics, but they don't cover this in the TV series. So like, till the final thing, I was like, you're finally catching up to the comics. And like, episode 400 something, the cats are like, we're from our own planet. We just came to this system as a was it Democrats or something?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's something that I'm looking forward to. There was also the announcement of a new Teen Titans series. Not Young Justice continuing. That will be continuing. But in the vein of the older Teen Titans and everything, that ran from 2003 to 2006, I believe the dates were. They're apparently going to have some sort of spiritual successor to that. And I'm not sure if you guys watched any of that.
I did.
You didn't?
No, I didn't really watch.
I watched Teen Titans.
I've seen like one episode.
And you just like didn't
well, it's not that. Well, it wasn't that because I had like the thing is like when it was on, it's not even like I watched one episode. I've seen snippets. Yeah. Like right. So it's like I'm sure if I sat down and saw it, I might enjoy it. But you can't.
You'd really enjoy Slade. He's a very good villain.
They had me tied in because I was like, who's doing the opening for this? What do you mean, Puffy Ami Yumi? Looks it up. She's married to Glay. The guy from Glay? No. Yeah, I have to watch this now.
Isn't Puffy Ami Yumi?
It's two girls. One of them is married to one of my favorite singers, Teru from Glay. So I was like, I have to watch this just cause.
And the series was fairly good and everything, so I'm glad that they're bringing it back. Now, the question is like still up in the air. Will this be its own independent series? Will it continue where Teen Titans left off?
Or will it be a movie?
No,
it would not be a movie.
It's not going to be a film. Or will it just be like a spiritual successor where they're dealing with like different characters and all of this sort of stuff?
That's the thing. That's not the thing that Japan's been doing lately. They've taken like older TV series and converted them to film form. So Berserk has its own like HD remake movie, and the advertisements are like everywhere. And Sailor Moon originally, before they announced it being like a full HD TV series, everybody was like, it's going to be a movie. It's going to be a new movie. And they're like, nope.
Syndication as a full series. What was it? Hellsing's like that. The original anime and everything's actually been has been transformed into a series of OVAs.
Yeah, there you go.
The
whole TV series compressed into 3-4 movies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And they're actually continuing from where the TV series left off. They did a similar thing that to what Brotherhood did, where they redid the entire thing. I'm not going to say revamp, that's too puntastic. They basically redid the series. In the first couple of OVAs, they had covered all of the events of the original series and corrected for where it deviated from the manga.
Errors, yeah.
And then they've continued that, so they've gotten all the way to the point where he's fighting the butler. And if you know Hellsing at all, if you've read the mangas, you'll know what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't, check out the OVAs. It is, for an adult audience, it's far more gory and far more explicit than the anime ever was. But it's very, very well done.
Yeah. I hope that they do. If they do start doing this in like for English adaptations of things like Batman Beyond, that the production qualities are just at like crazy high. That's what I'm hoping. Whenever you convert a TV series into a movie, that's what I hope. But since we're looking forward to new TV series, now we just hope the TV series will be just as high.
There is a staggering amount of stuff that's coming out in there the next year. Even like Game of Thrones coming back in April. Season 5, I think, of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, they're making a new Glee, but it's more like, if for those of you who don't know right now, I know this is not nerdy, it's actually pretty stupid. But
no. Glee has its own fan base and everything, and we pander as much as we can.
But they're doing this thing where it's like reality television for people who are auditioning for the next Glee. So you can tell it's like Glee is really into this whole money-making thing, especially because of like this. We knew that for a while, but this pretty much just like hammered it in. It's like, oh yeah, the live action, like, oh, there we get to see who's going to play the next one. Like, we don't want to see the casting process. It kind of ruins, because now we're going to know who the character is as an actor, right? We're going to see, like, expect that actor to be that character, but it's not going to happen like that at all.
You're going to end up with your preconceptions and everything. And
yeah.
it's
just quite possibly one of the worst possible things you can do.
For a series, yes.
Yeah.
To turn a dramatic series into a portional reality TV show, it does not work. It doesn't. Plain and simple. You either go fully reality TV, or you go fully scripted, dramatized, and everything.
Yeah. Do you know what was really funny about that was, like, a week before I heard this was happening, I was watching this Indian show Indian movie, with Shahid Kapoor, and and pretty much like it was exactly that concept. Like, instead of like just casting him, like, so originally he got the role, but then he got kicked out because they're like, we're gonna make it into a reality show, right? And I was like, who would ever do that? That's so stupid. It's the stupidest idea I've ever heard because of this very reason I said to you. A week later, literally a week later, I hear that Glee is doing this. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, they're starting to Bollywood and Hollywood are starting to overlap more and more, and it saddens me because I've seen what's in Bollywood, and it's...
I guess like...
Though, fair is fair.
Yeah.
They do sometimes have some good stuff. Even some of the rip-offs are sometimes good. The rip-off of Man on Fire, Ek Ajnabi or something.
No, I've seen...
rather than Denzel Washington, you had Amitabh Bachchan.
Of course.
And it was actually a very, very good rip-off. The age difference between the two friends was a little irritating. But it ended a little bit differently, as you would expect Bollywood to.
Yeah.
And they added one musical number.
But you know what's really funny? Is, like, you know your careers, like, because you were talking about Adam Sandler before.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mention this now. It's like, you know your career hit a dead end when you're starting to rip off Bollywood movies. Because, okay, usually what happens is Bollywood would take Hollywood movies, and this has been happening since we were children.
Yeah.
Hollywood takes Hong Kong movies, and I was like,
okay though. In high school, this movie came out with Salman Khan and this actress who I don't remember who is right now, but pretty much it was the exact same concept of that movie with Jennifer Aniston and and Adam Sandler. What was it called? With the kids. He wants to marry a hot...
and he basically hires them to be like his fake family to try...
Which is exactly the same story plot as that movie, that Salman Khan movie. And I'm sitting there like, seems so familiar.
The film series Doom is essentially Ocean's 11. The Italian Project, I think it was?
But what came out first?
Italian Project.
So that's normal then. But this is like the English version coming out after, which was so bizarre for me because that never happens. It's
Infernal Affairs. What do you mean, The Departed? Well, at least they didn't do the two. There's two more movies that sequel it in Hong Kong, but they didn't bother that in the English version. They just try to compress it.
It's this very weird sort of chain because Hollywood is always ripped off of Japanese horror because they do it a lot better. Most of Silence of the Lambs is actually ripped off from various Japanese horror films. That whole thing when he's how he escapes and everything with the guy's face and all that's actually from a Japanese film that came out maybe 5 or 6 years previous to Silence of the Lambs.
As long as they don't rip off of Shikoku, I'm okay. Because that I don't know, man. Every time this ghost climbs out of like places and she hugs people, right? She breaks their spine. In her that's her ability. If they ever rip that. I mean, I watched it in high school at the same time as I saw The Ring and The Grudge, and then The Ring and The Grudge both became adapted into English. But if they ever adopt Shikoku, I will hide under the bed and not leave, and not refuse to watch it in English because it's just as scary in Japanese. Like I can see them trying to do it, but it's.
Well, here's the thing: we're all very huggy people, and that being introduced.
It's like women are like, I haven't seen you in forever, hug. Because she's like,
I don't know. I didn't know what you're talking about. Don't talk to me about it, please.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. She's like, by the way, I haven't seen you in a while.
He's like, I'll shake your hand, yeah, it's good to high five.
High five. Oh, look goodbye to your bones, because she's
don't tell me.
Yeah, but if they ever rip that, it's a good movie. It's just I'm glad they didn't rip it because I think it was too hard to explain how such a ghost would come to be.
Well, but
in an English setting.
Unfortunately, we keep running into these sorts of things where, like. It's odd that our TV series, when they get rebooted or they get transferred over to something, it's usually done fairly well.
Yeah,
especially children's TV shows and that sort of thing. Batman Beyond, and then Batman Beyond, the series, and then Return of the Joker.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautifully done. The 90s Batman series, and then Mask of the Phantasm. Still, the best animated movie DC ever put out. And you can come up with any example that you want.
Fate Stay Night, and then Fate Unlimited Blade Works, the movie. I was like, this is so beautiful.
The Appleseed films.
Oh, but they've just taken the film and converted to a TV series again. Now it's gone. So now because the film instead of being 2D animation is all cel shaded. When they made the TV series, they cel shaded it again. But it's not the same quality as the film, which made it hard to watch a TV series after you've come out of watching it in the theaters, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to watch and everything, but it still stays it still stays true to the overall style and everything, the overall dynamic and everything, and it carries it over quite successfully.
There's also like apparently I've heard there's it's been greenlit is a new season of Ghost in the Shell.
Yep.
So that whether you come out from the movies or the TV series, still beautiful animation.
The Inuyasha films, the 4 films that were released for Inuyasha, each and every one of them was fantastic. The 3rd film was my favorite.
Even the final season, which came out like last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was really good.
You concluded it. No, please don't make any more. She decided to make more.
Oh.
Not Inuyasha, just something else. But but like it's rare when you have the TV series and the movies adaptations, or vice versa. TV series
like
adapted from
on
movie.
par, right?
On par, yeah.
We see so many, and we've ranted about them so many times where it's just they just fall flat.
Yeah.
And
well, sometimes they fall flat, but the point that I'm making is like as we were talking about the Bollywood films and everything, and Hollywood and Japanese cinema, and how they all borrow and steal from one another, and to varying degrees of success. Generally, even if it falls flat, it's never disastrous. When it comes to like children's series or something that's meant for a younger audience, it's very rare. It's very, very rare that it's actually something that's just piss poor. I think the only example of that I can come up with is actually M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender.
Yeah, what movie? It doesn't exist. I'm waiting for the one
They just
about
released the trailers, and then there was some issue with distribution, so it was never released.
Yeah.
Someone should make a new Avatar movie, though. I think that definitely would be interesting.
It should be about Zuko's mom.
No, in all honesty, if you just got the guys that did the TV series to make a feature-length animated film exploring that in-between gap between Korra and Aang,
instead of doing it in the comics. If they made those comics into a movie, that would be so awesome.
It really would be, because you have a lot of character design and everything.
Avatar, where is Zuko's mom? There. Beautiful.
They find her, and
watch it.
but they find her, and she's actually wearing a red trench coat with a long red hat and everything, and black hair flowing in the wind, and then she just like jumps off of the tower, and there's a blimp, and it takes her away.
So she's secretly Carmen Sandiego. Beautiful.
Yes, she is.
That's so funny.
Beautiful.
Actually, what's really funny about the Avatar series is how many of the voice actors do roles that are so, I don't know, different from their characters. Like Azula is Wow Wow Wubsy, which is like a next level children. Like it's shorter, because you have Avatar, which is like, I don't know, 10 to like kind of preteen kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow Wow Wubsy is literally preschool. It's just like, and if you hear her, like I was just like, when I found out she was Wow Wow Wubsy, my mind was blown, because she's like, wow, everyone.
My mind was blown when someone told me that the voice actress for Katara was in the Scott Pilgrim film.
Yep.
She was? Who is she?
She was the evil girlfriend.
The girlfriend?
It's so, my mind was blown. Now your mind is blown.
Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis, is the voice of Meg Griffin on Family Guy.
Oh, weird.
You didn't really?
No.
Yeah.
Also, Aang is, do you know who the Backyardigans are?
Yeah.
Oh, Aang is Pablo from the Backyardigans.
Oh, God.
I know. Oh, I love the Backyardigans, though. It's such a good show.
Oh, yeah, there's so many of these interconnections. The voice actor that played Goliath in Gargoyles, he's got so many roles. He plays Chaos in Dissidia, in the Final Fantasy Dissidia games. He's the voice for the avatar of all death and destruction.
What's weird, though, is Zuko, the guy who plays Dante Bosco, completely doesn't acknowledge his character role as the American Dragon. Which is weird. It's like not even on his website.
It's not that bad.
I love the American Dragon. I thought it was funny.
I played a couple of the games. Because my little cousins play it. I'm like, it's not bad. It's okay. It's pretty good.
Anyone else remember Jackie Chan Adventures?
Yay!
That was fantastic. We actually recently ran in. My brother. He was in something recently. The uncle.
Oh.
We were watching it. God, what was it?
One more thing. Jackie. My little half Chinese cousins are half British. They actually learned a lot of random Cantonese from the Jackie Chan Adventures, which is pretty terrible but great. They're like, 妖魔鬼怪，快啲走. I was like, what the?
Isn't that bad ghosts go away or something?
It's like ghosts and demons. Quickly get away from me.
Oh, okay.
Get away!
I expel you!
I expel you.
For some reason, a pufferfish is the single greatest weapon in a man's arsenal.
Of course, it's so poisonous and delicious. And poisonous!
Look, I still can't get it out of my head when they were doing the Oni Mask episodes, and in like the second or third episode, Uncle figured to say that, you know what, I'm good with the Chinese stuff, not so much with the Japanese, and he kind of goes away. And then, what's his name, the sumo wrestler, Haru or something? I can't remember what his name was. In any case, he's created he's got his own sort of little pufferfish that he's got the proper like Japanese incantations and everything for, and like Uncle shows up at the end of that and he just links the fish and he's like using them as twin pistols. He like full out matrixing all of these Shadow Ninja and everything. It was just awesome.
We need more of those. Can there be a Jackie Chan Adventures movie? Please do it.
That'd be awesome.
It'll revive your dying career, Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan doesn't even do the voice for himself.
You don't even have to do your own voice.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't.
You don't you don't even have to do your own voice, and your rep will go up. I mean, you've messed up your rep in the Hong Kong media recently and Chinese media for that.
What did he do?
I don't remember. He said something very controversial and it angered a lot of people. Something pretty. I heard it was something racist. So yeah, and like racist to people in Hong Kong, even China, and then abroad. Like I don't even know what you said, and I'm Canadian, and I know that you did something bad. So bring it back. Maybe this will revive your career because right now everybody's like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, there was a Rush Hour movie that's not going to be made now.
Oh, it'll still be made. Like Hollywood loves it. It's just the media back in the motherland.
Well, it's not like he doesn't already have more than enough money to retire on. I mean, for God's sakes,
Stop breaking your bones. Do an animation. You can stand in the studio unless you walk in the studio and fall on your face.
Actually, he used to say that. You remember how at the end of the episode, he would sometimes like field emailed or lettered questions and everything. At one point, he was just like, "No, I love to do animation because there's a lot that my character can do in the cartoon that I can't do it anymore in real life and all of this stuff." The stunts that he would pull in the TV show, he pulled some of them in real life and ended up with quite a few broken bones. I think all of them.
He's broken every bone in his body at least once.
Except for the ones in his ears. Those are the only ones that he's managed to keep.
Do animation! When you're recording, don't wear your headphones and yell! Maybe it will break too!
I broke my voice! Oh!
That's not a bone!
You're tearing muscle at that point.
Taking it to the next level.
Yeah. Anyway.
Why didn't you like American Dragon?
I didn't like American Dragon because it was too kiddish for my taste. Like, it kept trying to be funny, but it wasn't my sense of humor.
Oh, I guess. I thought it was so funny. I liked a lot of the characters, and I think it's just because it reminded me a lot of, like, it was kind of on par with Wizards of Waverly Place. Like, it's kind of like that Disney...
Well, unfortunately, I never watched Wizards,
so I guess it's like, the thing with me, it's not that I have a lower standard, it's just like I have a particular Disney standard.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you judge things that are Disney, you have to judge them on a Disney standard, not on a normal standard. Because...
Dave the Barbarian on the Disney standard. It's fantastic. I really wish they would bring that back. But we are getting Sailor Moon back. Yeah. We are getting another season of the Code Geass. I'm worried that they might turn Code Geass into what happened with Gundam.
No, they could, but since it is made by the people who make Gundam, it can happen.
And I'm fearful of the day when it eventually does.
Before I forget, just to wrap up, back to or rather tying it with the Spider-Man review, Tobey Maguire now owns all of Macross / Robotech. Please release it on Blu-ray. I've waited for this since my childhood. Wait. He ended the lawsuit by buying out both parties. He owns all of it. Release it, man. You can do this. What? Get Funimation to do it.
Alright, Joss Whedon. Use the money that you earned off of the Avengers film and all of Firefly. Get every cast member from Firefly back and get them to pour their exorbitant amounts of money in on this as well.
Yeah, just
buy the Star Wars license away from George Lucas and start doing it competently. If Tobey Maguire, of all people, can pull it off, you can do this. And we will love you all the more.
Also,
you are already worshipped. You will have shrines on the streets rather than just in people's homes.
Toby, don't do the CGI Macross. I know you bought it to probably try to do this. Just voice it. You're acting, voicing Hikaru, beautiful. Don't change Lane Minmei. She's gorgeous, she still sings. She can keep voice acting. She does English and Japanese. You know this. Bring it back, bring it back. Anyway.
You've given me such hope, Toby.
I'm Ridwin, and that's Daw's hat.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bring it back.